Hi, I'm the Nature Kid. Happy Mother's Day. In this video, I'm going to tell you about different ways animal mothers take care of their babies. I'm going to tell you about ants. In a colony, all ants are female, except for one time of year, in the middle of summer, when an ant colony produces flying male ants called drones. These are the only males that will ever be produced in the entire year. The ant colony also produces other flying ants, but these ones are bigger. They're female ants called queens. After mating with the drone, the drone ant dies, and the queen ant and digs underground and lays eggs. She will stay underground for the rest of her life while laying eggs. In this little ant colony that I have raised from a queen ant I caught, the queen ant is the biggest. Similar to a caterpillar, ants when their babies look like little white worms. They don't have legs. The larva then has to become a pupa, which is like a cocoon for a moth or a chrysalis for a butterfly. It's only after that when they turn into a worker ant and start looking like an ant. The queen ant will feed her larvae a kind of liquid that it is made from her food reserves. But once the workers arrive, they can leave the nest and find food for the colony. And because the queen is the only ant laying eggs, the worker ants will work together to protect the colony and will sting and bite anything that it messes with their colony. And actually, I was filming ants, and I didn't know this, but I had actually set my arm on an anthill that I didn't see, and now the ants are swarming. Now I'm going to talk about bats. Imagine having to find your baby in a dark, crowded cave. Well, bats do just that. Hundreds, thousands, even millions of bats can live in just one cave. And so the mothers need to find their babies when going back to the cave to feed their babies. Each of the baby bats has a slightly different sound and smell. And so because of that, the mother bat can recognize the baby. Also, did you know that bats use baby talk to communicate with their babies? Yes, they do. Because when talking to their babies, bats will make even higher frequency sounds than they normally make, which is pretty high-pitched for a bat. Even more high-pitched than for a human to hear. Now I'm going to tell you about birds. Now, there's a kind of bird called a chickadee, and with chickadees, I actually saw it happen. And because last year, there was two chickadees flying around this hole in my wall. Now, these two birds were removing fluff from this hole, and I don't know why there was fluff inside the wall of the house, but it might have been like insulation and or something, and they were removing the fluff. I think it was insulation, and then once they were done, they brought it in stuff for making a nest, such as tree bark. The chickadees brought tree bark and sticks. A few days later, they would go in the nest and I think that they laid eggs, and so they went in the nest and took turns sitting on eggs. A few days after that, then I saw the birds going into the nest carrying insects. I saw them fly away, and surprisingly soon after that, they would go back to the nest with a bug, usually either a caterpillar or a spider, but sometimes a beetle. And so that meant that the eggs hatched, and I held my ear up to the hole, and I heard little baby bird sounds. And then, a couple of weeks after the chickadees first started their nest, the baby birds left the nest and flew away. The parents still fed the birds for a little bit, but then soon I started hearing bird sounds all over the yard. So that meant that the baby birds had all left the nest. I even pet one, and after it left the nest. Then I eventually stopped hearing those baby birds, which meant that they had flown away. I hope you liked the video. Like and subscribe for more Nature Kid videos. Bye!